So you read the title of this video and you think that I sound absolutely insane, but hold up real quick and hear me out. Superspeedway racing in recent years has turned into an absolute joke. It's a mess. It's made one of the biggest races of the year, the Daytona 500, lose a little bit of its luster. It's the race that pulls the biggest audience throughout the NASCAR season. It kicks off the NASCAR season. You have more casuals watching than you will for the rest of the NASCAR season, and what they end up seeing is a complete wreckfest, which has been the case in recent Daytona 500s along with Talladega. These races are absolute lotteries now. Yes, it takes some skill, but majority of it just relies on luck, and I hate to say that, but it's a fact. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to say that yes, drivers are to blame. It's pretty obvious that the Cup field today is way more aggressive than the Cup field from just 10 years ago. I also understand that pack racing has been a thing since the late 80s. But there's an obvious difference in plate racing from back then compared to recent years, and that's the field spreading out throughout the run. A little history lesson for those who don't know. NASCAR didn't intentionally make pack racing a thing. Putting plates on the cars slowed them down, and with the speeds being lower, it made it to where cars can be packed up for a certain period of time at least. The reason why NASCAR threw on plates was because cars were getting airborne and it was supposed to be a safety move. NASCAR nowadays intentionally wants pack racing, and to show how deep they are into it, they turned Atlanta into a mini superspeedway, which is absolutely disgusting in my opinion. I want superspeedway racing to take more skill like how it used to. It's never going to take the amount of skill that's required at other types of racetracks, but if they can make it to where how it was before the 2010s, that would be a big step in the right direction. NASCAR could put in the effort to break the packs up, and this wouldn't be the first time they intentionally try to break the packs up. Back in the mid 2000s, NASCAR did things like make the fuel cells smaller and had tires that will really wear throughout the run. Fuel cells being smaller makes it to where drivers will have to pit more, which means that's more opportunities to spread the field out. Tires that will really wear over a run will also spread the field out because handling will play a role, and it will separate the men from the boys. NASCAR doing this again would definitely make a difference. Both Daytona and Talladega surfaces has lost a lot of grip since their repaves. Talladega surface is damn near 20 years old, and Daytona surface is just over 10 years old. If Goodyear bought a really soft tire, that's durable by the way, to the superspeedways, you will notice a difference, especially at Daytona since the track is so narrow compared to Talladega. One of my favorite superspeedway races to go back and watch is the 2004 Daytona 500. Yeah, you had the big pack for the first 10 laps of a run, and then eventually you had the better handling cars running at the front while the poor handling cars ran at the back. Tire wear in general creates comers and goers. It creates passing because not everyone is running the same speed in the corners, and some drivers excel on old tires, and of course, it depends on the setup of the car. You saw this in the 04 Daytona 500, and at the end, the two best cars battle for the win. Even before this duel, you had someone like Scott Wimmer take two tires on the final stop and actually leapfrog the leaders of Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart. But with Jr. and Stewart having those fresh tires and their cars handling better, they got past Scott Wimmer. Then you got Jr. impressive pass for the win where he got to the side of Stewart and side drafted him down the straightaway and took the lead going into turn 3. This took skill. It took being precise, and it showed how great Dale Earnhardt Jr. car was. NASCAR also needs to do away with stage cautions and just leave the race green. Obviously, I would like for this to be the case everywhere and not just superspeedways. If you eliminate stage cautions, it doesn't pack the field back up unless there's actually a legit caution, of course. And the final thing is that they need to make some changes to the superspeedway package. Take some spoiler off and get them a little bit more horsepower so that way they won't stall out as easily. Nothing egregious like having them run 215 miles per hour, but giving them a little bit more speed so that way they can maneuver. These are the steps NASCAR should take to break up the packs at superspeedways. This is an unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna reiterate that superspeedways have become a joke in the last 5 to 6 years. It's a complete clown show when they go to superspeedways now. Just because I'm wanting the pack to be broken up doesn't mean I want to see boring racing. You can have good racing even with them not being all in the pack. I look at the 2008 Daytona 500 and I feel like that's what they should go for. Remember when Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Jeff Gordon broke away from the field during the middle portion of that race and swapped the lead between the three of them? that's how I would like it to be. During that point of the race, they were the best cars, and it showed, which is why they got away from the rest of the pack. People need to get this thought out of their head, thinking that you need pack racing in order to have good, exciting racing. Yeah, I admit, it leaves you holding your breath and it makes you nervous as hell because you just waiting on someone to eventually wreck. And that's pretty much what Superspeedway racing is now. You just waiting for the wreck to happen, and it eventually does. Dalton Kellett, who's an IndyCar driver, put it perfectly. You're gonna call me crazy for having this opinion, but I don't care. I want NASCAR to be taken seriously, and right now it's hard to take these Superspeedway races seriously. But that's just my thoughts. What's your thoughts on this topic? Do you agree or disagree? I think I know where majority are gonna land. So that's it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.